Guys, welcome back for another video. What we're going to be doing today is we'll be doing an in-depth breakdown and prediction for the game of the weekend for week 7 of the 2024 college football season. We have the best game of the year coming up so far this weekend at 7:30 p.m. We are going to have the Buckeyes playing the Oregon Ducks. Number 2 versus number 3. We're going to break it all down right here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. If you have any comments about this game or any of the other games, drop them below and I will respond. Every week we go over every single college football game, break them all down. We do the money line, spreads, and the over-unders. And we also do the same thing for every single NFL game as well. And make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed so you can follow along with us this season. But what we're doing today is we're focusing on the big one, the game that's probably going to decide who's going to be number 1 when the next top 25 poll comes out at 7:30 p.m. NBC. Number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes, undefeated, 5-0. They'll be playing number 3 Oregon Ducks, also 5-0, undefeated. As of right now, the Buckeyes are the favorites slightly. They have a 63.7% chance to win this game. The Ducks have a 36.3% chance to win this game. The spread is very small. The Buckeyes are 3-point favorites. The over-under is 52.5. This game's going to be close. This game's going to be fun. This is 2 extremely talented teams. According to ESPN, Ohio State has the number 3 overall roster in all of college football. Oregon has the number 5 overall roster in all of college football. The best game of the year so far. The number 1 game, the game with the biggest implications, was Bama, Georgia. That was number 2 versus number 5. This now supplants that. This is number 2 versus number 3. Whoever wins this game is probably going to jump Texas for the number 1 spot when the week 8 AP poll comes out. Does it really matter who is number 1? No. But this game is going to put you in the driver's seat for the Big Ten Conference. We know we have a new playoffs this season. 12 teams get in. The Power 4 champs, the Group of 5 highest-ranked teams, and then 7 at-large bids. Even if you lose this game, whoever loses this game, this is probably number 1 of at least 2 times you're going to play this season. Whoever loses this one, you could rematch with them in the Big Ten Championship. You could conceivably play a 3rd time in the playoffs. We might get one of these games 3 times a season. College football is completely different now with this new playoff format. It's fun. It's great. I love it personally. I love to see Buckeyes playing Ducks. This is a game that we wouldn't have really gotten before. Now they're battling it out during the regular season for the number 1 spot in the Big Ten. And this one's going to be fun. We have 2 elite teams, top 10 offenses for both teams, top 10 defenses for both teams. Looking at our team stats here, you have the Buckeyes coming in. They average 46 points a game. We know how talented this team is. They very well balanced on the offensive side. They're throwing for 293.4. They're running for 222.8 yards per game. They can throw it. They can run it. And they have one of the best 2 running back punches in the country. They have Quinton Junkins. They have Henderson. It really doesn't matter who gets the most carries these games. Both these guys are going to get drafted, and both of them are elite running backs, a deadly 1-2 punch. They could balance it out, 10 to 15 carries per guy, run it down your throat, keep them fresh. You have Will Howard, the transfer from Kansas State, has fit into this offense perfectly fine. He had 5 touchdowns this past weekend. Took him a couple weeks to kind of get the ball rolling there, but it's a new team, new scheme, but he's coaching under Chip Kelly, one of the greatest offensive minds in college football history. He's adapting the scheme to Will Howard's strength. It just took him a couple weeks to kind of find out what exactly his strengths were. He has the arm, and he's a mobile quarterback. That's a big change from where the Buckeyes were last season with Kyle McCord. And look at this defense. They're only giving up 6.8 points a game. It's ridiculous. They have the number 1 defense in all of college football. Last season, the Buckeyes had the number 3 total defense. They brought back 8 starters on the defensive side, and they added to that through the transfer portal. So their defense is the best defense in all of college football. It is deep. They have a great defensive line. They have great linebackers. They have a great secondary. They can beat you multiple ways. They can beat you on offense, defense, special teams. They can run it. They can throw it. Whatever they need to do that game, they have the coaching staff. They have Ryan Day. They have Chip Kelly. They have Knowles. Great coaches. A lot of experience on this team. And one of the best wide receiver cores. How can you forget about the wide receiver cores? 2 guys that are easy going to be first-round picks when they come out. Egbuka Jeremiah Smith, the freshman, he's competing with Williams at Bama right now for best overall freshman in the entire country. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the entire country right now, and he's a true freshman. He's only 18 years old, but we don't want to forget about Oregon. Oregon, obviously, they brought in Dylan Gabriel. He was the transfer from Oklahoma. Prior to that, he was from UCF. He's in his, 15th year of college football right now. The guy's been playing college football for a long time. He practically has a whole family right now with kids. He's an experienced quarterback. He was the Heisman Vegas front runner preseason. Not so much the case right now, but there's a whole lot of season left, especially if Oregon beats the Buckeyes in Oregon. That's going to catapult Dylan Gabriel back up to the top of the Heisman odds. We know he can throw it. We know he's mobile. We know he's experienced. He has the attitude to lead this team to the playoffs. The Ducks, they have national championship aspirations this season, just like the Buckeyes do. This is for the number 1 spot in all of college football. Right now, the Ducks are averaging 35 points a game, a little lower than you would have thought. People thought right now they'd probably be averaging, just like the Buckeyes, 47, 48 8 points per game. But the offense has been slower rolling this season. The reason that is mainly due to the offensive line. The offensive line has not gotten the physical push that all of us thought that it would have preseason. It's an experienced line, but they haven't been getting Dylan Gabriel very much time. He's been dinking, dunking. I think his completion percentage is around 80 right now. That's really high, but he's not pushing the ball vertically down the field. They have the playmakers. They have an extremely good wide receiver core, but the offensive line has to play better. The Buckeyes are going to test that offensive line. They're going to seek to get a lot of pressure on Dylan Gabriel, but if he has some time, he can open up some passes, which would then open up the play action, completely changes the game. We know the talent's there. We know that the Ducks offense is going to be getting better every single week as everyone gets used to playing together. There's a lot of transfers. There's a new quarterback. Once they're all on the same page, this is going to be an elite top 5, top 10 offense. They're throwing for 305.2. They're running for 164.4. And their defense is still a top 20 defense. They're giving up 17 points a game. Very physical. Both teams seek to shut down the run. Look at the Buckeyes there. They're only giving up 72.6 rushing yards per game. That's top 10 in the nation right now. They're going to try to suffocate the line of scrimmage, control the run game, force the opposing quarterbacks to have to beat them vertically through the air. The biggest issue is, will you have time to be able to hit any deep shots? They do play kind of like a zone. They do play a lot of man-to-man, but they give a lot of space. They're not playing press coverage there, because they trust that you're not going to have time to hit those guys. They're going to get on the quarterback. Dylan Gabriel, he's mobile. He can run. Didn't have his best game this past weekend, but it really doesn't matter. They were looking at this Buckeyes game. They were concentrating on this. They didn't really care about that game as long as they won. This is the game this season for both of these teams. Both have this game circled right now, but the Ducks also shut down the run. Both teams have great lines. This is going to be a line of scrimmage game. This is like a 2010 SEC line of scrimmage game. Who's going to dominate on the offensive and on the defensive line? Looking at the quarterback competition, you have Will Howard closing in on 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns, only 3 picks. Like I said, the guy is mobile. And then on the other side for Oregon Ducks, you have Dylan Gabriel closing in on 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. Great play out of the quarterback positions. Great play at the skilled positions. For Oregon, you don't want to forget about the playmakers they have. They also have James at the running back position. They have Tez Johnson. They have Stewart. 2 good running back rooms, 2 deep wide receiver cores, 2 quarterbacks who are experienced better. They've played a lot of years of college football combined. This game could go either way. You're going to have Dan Lanning versus Ryan Day. I have to give the edge to the Ohio State coaching staff experience-wise. But the Ducks are not far behind them. Great coaching staff, but Ohio State has a lot of head coaching experience on that staff right now. And I just think that defense, it's number 1. The Ducks might have the number 10 defense, but to me, that gap from 1 to 10 is still a major gap. I'm going to go Buckeyes winning this one. 30-23. I have them covering that spread. I have them going over. I think this game is going to be close. I think it's going to go down to the fourth quarter. I think the Buckeyes' physicality takes the day in the fourth quarter in game 1. Game 2 is a completely different story. Like I said, it's hard to beat a good team twice in one season. Whoever wins this one could lose the next match, but no matter what, both of these teams will make the playoffs this year. That's not a doubt to me. This game's going to be fun. As a fan of college football, I honestly don't care who wins. I want a good game. This is going to be a good game. This is going to go down as one of the best games of the year. It's the best game so far this season. Make sure, guys, that you hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments on that prediction, drop your own prediction down below, or any other games. I do have my Week 7 predictions video coming out later today where we'll break down all the top 25 games, and then tomorrow, every other game that's not a top 25 game. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you.